こんにちは、皆さん。マニックマンモリオです。私はまたサトシさんとして知られています。今日、私たちは日本語を話す方法を学び始めるとしている。Hey there, YouTube. I am Manic Man Mario. I also go by Satoshi as well. Today, we're going to be learning some Japanese. However, before we get started, I realize that many people who watch our channel will probably think it seemed really out of place for us to do this sort of thing. Never fear, for one explanation should hopefully make everything make sense. It all came about when I decided to be looking at the status of our channel, trying to think of another way in which we could stand out from other gaming channels. That's when I thought about possibly giving our viewers something that would be of a bit more practical use. Also, you could say that teaching a world language would qualify as teaching art, and art is one of the things that our statement says we're about. To add the little cherry on top, we are going to be playing a lot of games that were made in Japan, so I figured that would be all the more reason. But enough about our little group. Let's begin already. Alright, so I know what you might be thinking. I've always heard that Japanese is one of the hardest languages to learn, and it looks really tough because I know there's more than one form of writing, as well as actually being able to speak it. Well, I will tell you that it certainly is impossible. With a negative attitude, that is. If you can maintain a positive and motivated attitude, I would say that you could learn to speak the language pretty fluently in a couple of years' time. But, as I'm sure you could expect, that much also depends on your level of involvement and dedication. Don't worry, though. There are many fun activities you could do to help you memorize the material you learn, as well as learn new material along the way. Try listening to Japanese music. Find a song you like, and then listen to it a few times. I find listening to Japanese radio to be one of the best ways to introduce me to new music. There are also a few websites that let you play games which serve as forms of practice at memorizing Japanese characters and vocabulary. However, all of that is a little beside the point of today's lesson for right now. Today, we're just going to start with the basics. Now let's get to learning some Hiragana. Soredewa. This is the entirety of Hiragana characters. Of course, we're not going to start out with something so complex as trying to learn all of them at once. Let's take this step by step. For this video, we're only going to start with the top line, or the vowel line, as I was taught to nickname it by my teacher, and a few vocabulary words. These vowels, if you will, are not like those featured in the English language. That is, they are often used to make up more than a small percentage of a word or phrase, but can almost never stand on their own. To put things in a simpler view, you should probably equate hiragana, as well as other Japanese characters, more to onomatopoeia instead of the English alphabet. Well then, I suppose I've kept you all waiting long enough, so without further ado, here's your first line of hiragana to learn. Repeat after me. A, I, U, E, O. O sounds like O, but split in half, basically. Now repeat this a few times. A, I, U, E, O. A, I, U, E, O. A, I, U, E, O. Practice these syllables as many times as you feel comfortable with in order to become familiar with them. Then, when you're ready, move on. To finish off with today's video, we're going to learn a few basic Japanese terms. Some of these words or phrases you may notice me occasionally switching out with their English translations throughout this series. This is so that you may hopefully become a bit more in tune with the language. Once again, please repeat after me. Nihon. 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 This can also be pronounced Nippon, depending on the context. Nihongo. 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 Eigo. 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 Spaingo. 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 I did not put any of the terms in hiragana simply because we haven't reached the lines that some of the characters used to make up those terms are in yet. However, this should be good enough for just starting out, so just focus on learning everything you've seen in this video for now, and be sure to come back for more if you enjoyed the lesson. I encourage you to learn at your own pace, but I will also try to upload these videos at a consistent rate that is fairly well spaced out so that those who feel like they need some time can have an appropriate amount. Well then, have a nice day. Ja mata ne.